What's up with it, bro?
What's happening?
Nothing much, man. Introduce yourself for the people who don't know.
For those that don't know me, my name is Chad Jabo Brown. They call me Unc. I'm the CEO of Blowing Money Fast Music, part owner of Unplugged Studios, Unplugged Cigar Talk, Unplugged Reviews, and Unplugged Management.
Yeah, there's a lot of titles, man. A lot of titles.
Yeah.
And you got a lot, history to cover, but we got that much time, so we're gonna jump right in. You grew up. You was born in the 70s.
Yeah, 72.
72. He's like, hey.
I just turned 50, man.
Yeah, happy belated birthday, man.
Appreciate
happy belated birthday. How would you describe St. Louis when you was coming up?
Well, when I was coming up as a kid, it was rough, but it's a whole lot different back then than it is today. Back then you ain't had it. All kids, playing sports and all that type of shit. Nowadays, we got kids. They sports is guns and you know what I'm saying. Like they ain't really into sports like that. They into the streets and a way of finding a fast way of getting money. So it's a whole lot, and the killing is way up. You know what I'm saying, down here now compared to back then. There's always killings going on, but there's more kids killing than it is adults nowadays in St. Louis.
Yeah, because nowadays, the music, the media, and everything, they make that more of sort of like accolade in somebody's life. They want to get that trophy. It's like, I got
the status.
Their status.
Yeah.
Exactly. You used to play sports music. I saw like a picture of you shared on your birthday.
Yeah, I played baseball, ran track. I played football. Football was my main sport, but baseball was my second, and then track. And then when I got to high school, I started playing basketball. I wasn't that good, but I was just good. I was an athlete, so I played, good defense, and I couldn't really score worth shit. But my defense was good, so I made the team probably because of my status from football and track and my defense. So yeah, I played a little. I was an athlete, put it like that.
Gotcha. What part of St. Louis did you come up in?
I was, if some guys know the areas, they call it the DST.
Okay.
I was on the fucking name of my street, Linton.
Right behind DeSoto.
Yeah, DeSoto. I was the next street over from DeSoto, but I didn't. It wasn't called no DST back then. I don't know what it was called, but DeSoto. And then also, when I got kicked out of school, elementary school, across the street from my house, I moved to the north side with my pops. So I'm like from the DST side, and I'm from the north side, off of Lily and Alcott.
Okay. Yeah, that's what they call it, Murderville, Waldorf Park here. Yeah. Like early 90s, late 80s is when St. Louis got hit with the gang culture and all that. Did you get involved in that during that time?
No, I wasn't. To this day, I was never in the gang. In the 90s, I wasn't. I was all sports. I wasn't thinking about no gangs in the 90s. I was in high school, football started high school, shit like I just said. But, I had friends that was from both sides, Bloods and Crips. So I never really claimed a set or nothing like that, but I rock with both. You know what I'm saying? Mainly, if you hear some of my guys, they probably think I'm a Crip because I hung with a lot of Crips.
Mm-hmm. Then what you saying, where you...
Yeah. So, but I guess that was my title. As I call myself a Green Beret because I like money. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't no Blood nor Crip.
Gotcha.
I just had one of my nephews was a Blood, my other nephew was a Crip. So that really taught me how not to just choose one side. But I wasn't claiming like Blood or Crip. You know what I'm saying? Around saying what's up, cuz, or what up, Blood. No, I wasn't doing none of that shit.
During that time, when the gang stuff took over, how would you? Because that was like compared to what 2020, I think like 91, 92, 93, around that range when St. Louis had like one of the most violent summers as far as like the gangs. How would you describe that time during St. Louis?
I mean, man, niggas was just dropping, and still they wasn't dropping like they are today. But during that time,
It was just that.
that shit was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like the blood and the gang banging shit was real high back in them days and shit. So yeah, but like I said, I kind of stayed away from the gang shit. So, but it was like in full-fledged mode back then.
Back then, it was a king walking on shooting the wrong color.
Man, yeah, that shit was crazy, man. But that's how it was.
Yeah. Now, when exactly did you jump off the porch?
I probably right after I graduated, or right before I graduated. It's probably right before I graduated because my mom seen me graduate before she passed away. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Or was it after? Or did she pass before I graduated? Hold on, she died in 91. I graduated in 91.
So I was born in 91.
Yeah, I think she fucking, it was probably right after, or right before my mama got sick and all that shit. I started, I went on one of my buddy's houses and out down in the plaza. And I walked in there, just going fuck with him and shit. Like, man, what y'all on? They down there wearing up some dope. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just sitting on the bed like it wasn't nothing. I wasn't tripping off the shit. But I was like, man, you know what? I was like, man, let me get one of them. He's bagging up some ounces and shit. So they had to be like 91. He just looked at me like I was crazy. I looked at his partner, looked back at me and like, just threw me a zap. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I fucked it up. You know what I'm saying? It was around that in early 90s. 90, 91 for sure.
Would you say that, with the circumstances surrounding your mother is what kind of led you down that way? Or without her being there to,
Well, no, like I said, I was kind of like dipping and dabbing in weed, little crack, trying to learn the ways of the shit through the guys from my neighborhood. But it played a big role when you really ain't had when I really ain't had no bread. You know how kids be there.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got no bread and they got a little street sense in them. They gonna try the streets.
Yeah.
So that was probably one of my reasons. I ain't had no money. I tried the working thing. I ain't like that shit. I was trying to work for Domino. They had me I wasn't working in the kitchen at Domino. They had me going door to door, putting the coupons and shit on people's door, walking. I was like, man, I ain't gonna do this shit here, man. You know what I'm saying? I just started learning. This when they had crack houses and shit back then. So got me a little pack. Going over to the crack house over in the East Gate and shit. And that's in U City. Yeah. I moved to U City by then. And got to learn how to, work the little beeper, motherfucker hitting the beeper. I got lazy. Started letting, certain little crackheads you get cool with come to the window in my house. You know what I'm saying? I was doing that type of shit, man. Just trying to, it's dumb, but I'm still learning.
Certain way you lay it.
Yeah. But it wasn't nothing major, nothing like that. It was, I was probably getting a quarter ounce, shit, 7 grams, shit like that. So it wasn't nothing major.
Yeah. I guess fast forward a little bit. How did you come about meeting Big Meech? The rest of
Okay. Well, I can't talk too much about that, but that ain't nothing right there. I had one of my big homies. He's from the 4-4 Blood. That's a Crip.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? So, I ain't Crip though. But he from the 4-4 Blood and shit, and he was doing real. He was like a Meech. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he the one that got me to move to Atlanta. So one day I went down. He like, man, I got my homeboys. Cause I played Madden a lot. Like, I got my homeboys. They want to play some Madden. They want to gamble. I was like, shit, all right, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Took me over to down in Decatur. Went to this the house it was big at the time. You know what I'm saying? Doing that season, that house was kind of big to me.
Mm-hmm.
I took me to the house, walk in, grand piano, niggas everywhere. So I ended up, that's when I first seen dude. You know what I'm saying? And shook hands and all that shit. I was like, man, where the weed at? And what the motherfucking who I'm finna play?
Type shit.
So I ended up playing one of his homeboys, Baba. And I said I lost $800. You know what I'm saying? But that was my first time meeting bro. You know what I'm saying? We went out. I was like, oh man, this shit here is where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's when I first met him. That encounter. I played Baba in the game, and they was all in there smoking weed. The whole house smelled like weed, man. Niggas everywhere, but it was a nice crib, cars all outside and shit. I'm like, damn, this shit here is nice, man. Nigga can do this. You know what I'm saying? Motivation. You know, like it was definitely motivation for me because I was already, you know, moving up the ladder. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's how I met him. That was the first time I met him.
I know you just say you can't say too much, but I'm gonna ask you this. That was y'all first encounter, but you know, y'all continue to build y'all relationship over time.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you say that he took a liking to you for you to gain the status that you got, that you portrayed, you know, that they say you have anyway?
You know, it's all, you know, when it's one thing about the brothers, that's him and T, they know how to read people. You know what I'm saying? They good at reading people. You know, you get that first good vibe about a nigga. Well, you know, when I first met them, not when I first met him, I'm coming to Atlanta and I'm calling bro, like, man, what them dudes that we went to the house, like, you know what I'm saying? And we ended up giving each other a number, and I went out with him. This night, we was in Jim's club, and they ended up, you know, niggas finna get ready to get down, like we finna get ready to fight some niggas and shit, and I took off on the nigga first. You know what I'm saying? We got up out of there, niggas got bloodied up, not me, but the nigga we beat up. You know what I'm saying? We walking down to our car, he like, man, take that shirt off, you know what I'm saying? Like damn, bro, you know, you ain't have to do what you did, but you know, I like niggas like that, you know what I'm saying? I like niggas to take the front line. I was like, well, bro, you know, this me, this is what I do, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm fucking with you, shit, I'm fucking with you. And that's kind of one of the reasons why he started liking me, even though I didn't know he already had been hearing about me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, he had a good reading on a good nigga, and just kept me, you know. I ain't gonna say he kept me around because I was calling him, you know what I'm saying. But he let me keep coming around. You know, I met this girl, my homegirl, my sister, and they just took me in as a family. And then they ended up having to get out his apartment one day because he had some trouble with the police, you know, sitting by their cars or whatever. I was like, shit, man, I got a 3-bedroom apartment, long as a motherfucker, out here in Alpharetta, bro. I say, look, I just be down here every blue moon. I said, man, y'all can come stay in my shit. You know what I'm saying? And when T found out that I told him that, and they was like, damn, bro, you a good dude type shit. You know what I'm saying? I gave niggas keys and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they was staying in my apartment. I'd probably be in St. Louis for 2-3 months. And they staying there. I'm still paying my bills and shit down there, but they staying there. And that was another way that I got kind of real, you know, locked in with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just good hospitality coming from my end, and them respecting me doing some shit, not really knowing them from a can of paint.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
like, yeah.
I just had a good vibe. Like me, I'm good at reading people. So I had good vibes about it. I wasn't even caring about I didn't even know what they was doing. You know what I'm saying, at the time. I didn't know they was selling drugs and, you know, shit like that.
Unaware.
I didn't know they was in the street. I just knew I probably thought they were some rappers or some
That's
shit
how they
like that.
paint, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the vibe you got from them. You know what I'm saying? And they smoked that fire ass weed, and I was loving weed. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, shit, I'm gonna fuck with these niggas. These niggas, they got, you know, a couple cars and shit, but not no Bentleys and all that. They had probably some Benzes and, you know, some little shit. I was like, man, I'm just gonna fuck with these niggas, man. These niggas cool as a motherfucker. So that's how we kind of locked in on starting our friendship.
You was unaware of everything that was going on. At what point did you discover, like, hey, this is what it is?
Well, this is the last one I'm about to answer on this. but my guy who introduced me to him, he was my big homie, my brother now. He ended up getting jammed up. You know what I'm saying? Because I was getting a bag from him. And he ended up getting jammed up. And I started fucking with local big guys in St. Louis, and I wasn't really feeling that shit. So I just, one day when I went to Atlanta, I just asked him, like, bro, man, I need this probably about 6 months later after me meeting him. I was like, shit, man. But I want to ask you something, man. You know what I'm saying? He's like, what up, homie? Like, what it is? I was like, man, just ask me the motherfucking question, man. I was like, shit, bro, I need some work. I don't know what you do, but I need some work. He like, shit, I thought you would never ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was waiting for me to ask him. And that's how we took our first step. From that day, I took my first step with him. Yeah. It was on.
Now, let's fast forward a little bit. Y'all shaking and rolling, doing y'all thing, fucking the city up, fucking the world up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 2005, you was arrested.
They got arrested in 2005.
Yes.
They got me in 6.
In 6?
Yeah.
And was you arrested,
No. You know what?
Yeah.
I got locked up in 2006. But in 2005, they did lock me up for a fake ID. Cause we had fake IDs and shit. They locked me up for a fake ID coming out our club called Babylon. We had just opened up that night and they locked me up. And then they put me on the anchor monitor shit. It was a GPS system. Yeah. Not just how, like, it was an anchor monitor, it was a cell phone, and I carried my.
They gave you a cell phone too?
Cell phone, because they knew I was traveling back and forth from St. Louis to Atlanta. So they put me on a GPS system. And they supposed to did it for 90 days. But it stretched out to about 6 months. So when they put me on the GPS system, bro was like, man, you go home. Because I don't know what their fucking GPS system, they probably gonna be tracking us but by you being around us. Mm-hmm. So I ended up going home. Came back home to St. Louis. And right when I got off of the shit, I called him the day I got off. I'm like, bro, I'm off. Let me off this shit. I think they was in Dallas. He like, all right, just stay down there, go and pay the bills and shit down there with our loss and, penthouses and all that shit, And we'll be there in 3 days. They never made it. Mm. That's when the indictment started. The day they supposed to come, they got picked. Him and T, or a couple other guys got picked up.
Yeah, it was the Motor City Mafia. Was it a RICO case then?
I mean, it was just the indictments going on. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm saying like the whole,
I don't think their case was a RICO case.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it wasn't a RICO case.
Gotcha. Ultimately, you ended up spending what 11 years?
10
years,
8 months.
10 years, 8 months.
Total. That's what county jail time and prison combined.
Yeah. You was originally sentenced what 15?
15 years, 8 months. When I first got to that motherfucker, you go through R&D, and you walk through the prison, and they give you your clothes and your beard roll and all that shit. Mm-hmm. R&D, they read you your time off. Like, oh yeah, you got 376 months. I said, what?
That sounds like a lot.
That was double my time. That motherfucker like 33 years or some shit like that. I had more time than what they had. I was like, man, hold on. Y'all got my time fucked up because I only got 188 months. They say, well, right here it say you got 370, whatever, over 30-something years, 33 years, something, a little bit over there. Yeah. Oh, I was sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, these motherfuckers don't trick me. You know what I'm saying? So by the time, ain't nothing you can do about it. You just got to, I went through that. I'm glad I remember my lawyer's number. So when I walked through there, as soon as I was able to get on the phone, the first person I called was my motherfucking lawyer. Like, man, hey, man, what the fuck is going on? Like, they got me down for double my time. He like, man, just chill out, man, just relax. It's a typo in your paperwork. We'll get it get it taken care of. So probably about 6 months later, they got it taken care of. But man, I was sick for them 6 months. Like, man, these people, how can I let these people do me like this? You know what I'm saying? I went in and did what I was supposed to do to get my time. You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee these motherfuckers don't lie to me. But after they got it worked out and shit.
You got you.
Yeah, they ended up getting it together. Man, I swear, I was feeling gross and gray hair back then. Right, but it was, that's what it was.
how was that transition coming home?
Man, actually everything looked different. After 10, almost 11 years gone, building this new houses up, new high rises. The women, back then they wearing tight jeans, but they wearing motherfucking stretch pants, like the workout pants, leggings. I'm like, I get to the halfway house, I go to Walmart when they give my pass. I mean, every motherfucking woman in that bitch had on leggings, and they weren't wearing that shit back in the day. I was like, oh man, this shit almost like that motherfucker being naked. You know what I'm saying? Like, God damn. But it was different from back then. Like, everything was different, man. The cars, everything was different, bro. But I'm a fast learner, so I caught on quick. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the adjusting to society, it was, with the phones and the high tech type shit, that was a little difficult. But like I say, I catch on kind of fast, so that's the only thing that was kind of different to me.
Now I know with you being home now, you kind of you said the Blowing Money Fast label.
Mm-hmm.
Dabbing in music, and you also was doing music before you went in.
Yeah, like I said, when they put me on there, we had already started BMF Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other name? We had another name, and we changed it. But anyway, what's the name of that fucking record label? I can't even think of it right now. But yeah, we was kind of dipping. We was in it. We was really about to really blow up in the music shit. And that's, I guess the motherfuckers are like, hell no, we got to get these motherfuckers now, because if they get any type of money coming off this music shit, we probably won't be able to, I guess this is what I'm thinking, what they thinking.
Yeah.
They can't do nothing about it. And them indictments came out, but yeah, we had dipped and dabbed in that, and when I got on that GPS system, bro, like, go home, go ahead and start doing your little music, and I started a little label called Chop Shop Music, and I was trying to do that back then, not really knowing what the fuck I was really doing, because I was on my own with it. But I started back then trying to, start a label and shit.
Was Blue Da Vinci one of your artists?
He was my artist. Yeah, he was my artist because me and Michi was 50-50.
Gotcha.
So, it was a time where I was like, man, bro, I don't want to do this music shit. It's costing us too much money. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was like, fuck it then. Both say he don't want to do it. We ain't doing this shit no more. And man, that was the longest week of them niggas' lives. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas walking around huffing and puffing, mad because we ain't doing the music. And I seen how niggas look. I was like, bro, man, fuck it, man. Let them niggas go on, try to get their career going with this music shit. Yeah. And we started back up doing this shit, so.
Did y'all have Jeezy under y'all too, or was he just?
Nah, Jeezy was just like a friend, you know what I'm saying, nephew type shit.
Mm-hmm.
He never, I was thinking that he was gonna sign with us, but then once the heat started coming on, bro was like, man, you just go ahead. He had a deal on the table with Puff, and Puff with Def Jam or some shit like that. We told him go ahead and do that, and then you just bring us in. You know what I'm saying? But of course we went to jail.
Now, it's speaking of like Jeezy, he named a song after you, the 2000 with the J-Bo song.
Mm-hmm. That was, man, I want to say about
2015.
Yeah.
In the church in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How did you feel about that? Like, you just somebody,
Man, I was in the joint, and we get the music on the thing. Like, man, but you get it from the streets first. And
Yes.
Like, man, Jeezy got a record about you. I was like, huh? Like, damn, all right. I talked to one of my guys that had just came home, and he let me hear it. He's like, man, this motherfucker hard, bro. He spitting the shit about you, bro. I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool. I got tired of this shit kind of fast, because every time I go through the child hall,
they playing.
nah, niggas just, I ball like J-Bo. I was get tired of hearing that shit. Like, man, what y'all cut that shit out, man? But it was cool when it first jumped off and shit. They still play that motherfucker to this day.
Yeah.
When I come on to a club or something, if a DJ really fucking with me, that's the first song you gonna hear pop on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
And say, go back to Blue Da Vinci. I seen recently, last year, like October, he went online, ranting about the
The
BMF
BML
shit.
shit, yeah.
Yeah. And I also seen that you kind of responded in a humorous way.
Yeah, I was just shooting my shot, man. It was,
Yeah.
well, he was beefing with Meech, Lil Meech, man. That shit wasn't cool to me. And little kid, it's the second time beefing with him. You know what I'm saying? He had beef with him earlier. Then he really started beefing with him and talking shit about 50, what they call it, about 5. And I was just like, man, fuck it, man. I'm gonna go and shoot my shot at this nigga. He shouldn't be beefing with a motherfucker he raised, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out your body, nigga. You shouldn't did what you did. You know what I'm saying? So I just shot my little shot at him, on some jokey joke shit.
I know he was ranting about, being portrayed wrongly in the series. Do you think that's because of his alleged, cooperation with the...
That's probably why he said that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you should have did what everybody else did. You know what I'm saying? Keep your mouth closed. Well, not everybody else, the real ones. Just go do your time, man. Shit, you're gonna be gone for a little bit. It ain't like you got life and shit like that. You ain't getting no 30, and just you should. And even if you did, you shouldn't say shit. But he got a little meatball and couldn't take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit wasn't nothing. I ain't saying like, prison fun. It's all about how you make it. You know what I'm saying?
Living that life. You was here when it was fun.
But yeah, right. So with niggas like us, man, as long as you don't develop no habit in the joint and all that shit, and you well respected on the streets and all that, it's gonna be the same way when you go to the joint. Same exact way, from the inmates to the staff. So he ain't had nothing to worry about. All he had to do was go to that motherfucker, do his motherfucking time, and come home with his head held high. You know what I'm saying? Like, he come home and thinking this, you still trying to claim BMF. Like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, shit. Man, it's just, some niggas can't live that. They can live it, but until it's time to live it. And they can't live it. You feel me?
Yeah.
I wasn't that guy. I already knew what I was up against, And a couple other guys I know, they know what you up against. You get hit with the shit, it is what it is. It was like that when I got caught. I was like, fuck it, here we go. Time to go sit down. And I didn't know what I was gonna get. I'm thinking I'm finna get 10. You know what I'm saying? They end up, they was finna offer me 10. I told my lawyer, I said, look, tell that lady I'll take 10 right now. You know what I'm saying? He told she like, he'll take 10? Shit.
He said, okay.
They came back, they're like, nah, we starting off at 15 and we're not going down. We're gonna go up. I said, come on with it. You know what I'm saying? I started my time. It is what it was. It's a long time, but like I said, it's all about how you make it. I made the best of mine. You got 1,000 days where you don't want to talk to no niggas, you know what I'm saying? You just got to learn how to just keep it to yourself and don't take it out on others. And you'll be all right. So that's what it was with me.
Speaking of like the BMF series, season 2 is expected to be releasing soon. That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Yeah. Will you be portrayed in this season?
No.
Not yet?
No. I think 3.
3? I can see that.
Yeah, so
they started off with maybe teenager, growing up still in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't even hit the Atlanta side.
No, they ain't went to Atlanta yet or St. Louis. So I'm thinking 3.
Yeah. Did you you probably can't talk too much about it, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. Have you spoke with 50 about anything surrounding that?
I talked to him one time. I seen him and he was like, yeah. He hit me on my shoulder like, yeah, it's that guy right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just laugh it off and shit like that. But I talked to some of his writers. You know what I'm saying? They just like, man, just get ready. It's coming up.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? They can't tell me when and all that, but I just know it's soon.
Gotcha. Looking back on everything that happened, in your past, life and everything like that, is there anything that you would have done differently?
And you sound like as if I'm still in the game, would have stayed in the game, what would I have done different?
Or just anything.
I mean, like I said, man, I would have probably went if I knew I could have went to college in football. I would probably went to play sports, but if let's say if I like doing what I did, I would just cut down on my crew.
On your who?
The crew.
The crew.
Cause you can have 30 niggas. Somebody gonna say something out of that 30. Everybody ain't. Even if you think you might have an idea that they like that, everybody ain't like that, man. You know what I'm saying? That's some shit I'd do if I was still like, I'm gonna stay in the game. I would keep my crew down, keep them small. But I'd have went play sports, man, because I was that guy in sports. So I would, if I just knew, man, J-Bo or Chad, whatever, you got this life in football. But I had a sixth sense saying like, man, you go ahead and pursue football, you're going to be good. I would have probably did that.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer this. I don't know if you're going to ask me the question. Do I regret?
This is what I had.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do I regret for what I did? No, I don't. Because I like the guys, the crew, the guys I was around. Even though, in the law enforcement eyes and all that shit, we looked like the gang. We did this, we did that. We did a lot of stuff to help a whole lot of families out. We fed a whole lot of people, and I'm talking about like fed them from the bums, the homeless to shit, to the Most High. We made sure they was good. We don't always go out looking for fights and all that shit. That comes when people get jealous. You know what I'm saying? Like you got some chicks around you and niggas want the chicks. They want to try to violate your area, and you know what I'm saying? That's when the fights and all that shit come about. It wasn't even a lot of fights. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't violent like that, but shit happens with any street team. So, I don't regret. You know what I'm saying? I regret that the bad part of the shit that we were doing. It probably hurt a lot of families. But as far as the good side of us, and it was a lot of days like that. I don't regret that at all. It is what it is. So.
One last question. What you saying, like, just made a statement saying, hey, you been on an indictment or so, like 30 plus people or so. The YSL, the RICO case, they got what, like 28 people?
I think we had like 90. I don't know how many they got, but
yeah.
What about it though? My bad.
Do you think that people will start to cooperate in that case?
They already have.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they already have. I don't really follow the case. I hate that happened to Thug and Gunna. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, I don't know. I don't know what they did. You know what I'm saying? If whoever the little dude is that whoever started talking already, I don't know what information he had on them, but man, I wish he could hear this, man. Prison ain't that, it ain't like what you think it is. As long as you're not going to the pit. You know what I'm saying? But man, you knew what you was doing when you first picked up a bag or whatever. When it was all good when Thugger bought you a brand new car, gave you some money to get you a house and all that shit. Why turn on him? That shit ain't cool, man. Now when you gotta look at shit. When niggas turn on niggas, that gives the motherfucking the predators a green light for when you walk, because you gotta go do some type of time. You gonna do some type of time, and if you one of them niggas that's telling but their life was fucked up, you got a little criminal history in your past, you're gonna go to the pen or to the medium, and motherfuckers gonna be waiting on you for that type of shit. See, the feds don't tell you all that. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna do your telling, you might get your time cut, but if your custody level fucked up, you gotta go to the Most High. And them the type of motherfuckers gonna be waiting on your ass to come through that motherfucking door, man. Like, they don't know that. I hope y'all listening. Yeah, you know now.
Say, do you have a message you like to share for the youth? They putting out everything on social media, and everything nowadays.
Yeah, for as far as the social media, stop putting that shit on social media, man. Stop putting that shit in your songs. You know what I'm saying? Because they listening. They watching you. I'm telling you. So if you think you want to be that gangster type nigga or female or whatever, Stop doing that social media shit. Don't you telling on yourself. Stop showing motherfuckers you got money and all that shit. I don't do that. To this day, I don't show I might work this shit, you know what I'm saying, but I don't be flashing no money. And I don't do all that. I don't show my cars. Like if I got cars, I don't show my crib. I don't do none of that shit. Stop doing it. Because it will haunt you if you in the underworld. If you in the underworld and your name pop up on them people's radar, they gonna rewind all your motherfucking social media shit, all your shit you've been sending motherfuckers, and they gonna use that against you. So just stop it. Stay secret. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers know what you got. They see you. They know if you wearing, they motherfucker check out. They see you wearing. If you one of them person that like to wear nice clothes and get cars, motherfuckers see that shit, but you ain't gotta talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So shit, take advantage of what I just told you.
J-Bo, I appreciate the time, brother.
It's all good, man.
Shout out to your social media so you know where to follow you at.
And y'all can follow me at J-Bo BMF on Instagram. The same J-Bo BMF on what's this shit called, man?
Twitter,
Facebook. I ain't got no Twitter account. I got Unplug Management, Unplug Reviews on Instagram. Blowing Money Fast, the label, on Instagram. Follow me on that, because that's all I'm about, that music. Trying to get my guys going, man. And if you ever in St. Louis, man, come rent you some studio time at Unplugged Studios, man. That shit nice. Appreciate it.